So we're back, and what we're going to be doing is I have my waters here. We're going to be going through and doing the... Actually, I only started week 1. Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead, and we're going to keep going where we last left off in Conference USA. Oops. Oop. There you go. Oh, right. Sorry. Week 2. A lot of week 1, just general, pretty basic games for the most part. I think New Mexico State gets their first L with Liberty. Air Force probably loses to Sam Houston. I think that's their first win. Coastal Carolina is going to be one of the better teams in their conference this year. And Jacksonville State is a BCS team that's finally coming over, or an FBS team that's finally coming over to the an FCS team that's finally coming over to the FBS. So they're not really. It's going to be a rebuilding for sure. I think this is justified. Obviously, this is justified. Missouri, Northwestern, and Western Kentucky. So home games in week 4 or week 2, not week 4. Week 2 for Conference USA. Clean sweep. Okay. Middle Tennessee gets in the win column with a win over Murray State. Florida International gets on the win column with a win over... Oh, wait, no. FIU's been playing pretty good, actually. They get another win over UConn. As both of these teams are pretty bad. Hold on, guys. All right, there we go. That should be much better. Okay, so both of these teams are pretty bad. I'll give it to New Mexico, Louisiana Tech, Ohio State. This really isn't even a question. Liberty and Buffalo. I'll have to give that one to Liberty. There. Arizona over Utah. Okay. So next week. Week 4. Jacksonville State will get their first win over Eastern Michigan. Nebraska plays Louisiana Tech, and for my Nebraska fans out there, this is going to be a game that you could win. I'm going to give it to y'all. Nebraska wins that. Middle Tennessee beats Colorado State. Troy probably upsets Western Kentucky. Houston beats Sam Houston. Hawaii was one of the worst teams in college football last year, and UNLV is better than UTEP. So, pretty good set up here. We're going to continue on because not everyone is out of or into conference play yet. And here it is, conference play for this conference. Pretty weak, as you can see. Pretty weak. They don't even have actual conferences in this division. Or sorry, they don't have divisions in this conference. I'm dumb. Okay. FIU beats Liberty. Middle Tennessee beats Western Kentucky. Louisiana Tech beats UTEP. Now, obviously, this group of 5 is not likely to ever have a championship like a natty. But it is a starting block for sure. Middle Tennessee. FIU. Western Kentucky probably upsets Louisiana. Lafayette. I'll go Liberty over Sam Houston. So after week 6, some people... Oh, wait. It looks like everyone has started conference play already. So, after week 6, top of the conference sits Middle Tennessee at overall 4-2, 2-0 in the conference. With Florida International sitting at 5-1. Don't worry, that's going to change. And their conference schedule sitting at 2-1. Liberty sits at 3-2. With their conference schedule sitting at 2-1, that's going to change. Louisiana Tech is I think personally, is one of the better teams in this conference going into next season. Them and realistically in the back half of the season, Western Kentucky may be able to make a decent run at it. I don't think Western Kentucky has a lot of new pieces, and they're not going to gel immediately. But once they do, it's going to be very good for their team in this season. I think this is where Louisiana Tech shows their might a little bit. And we're just going to skip over this one for now because this one, realistically, while it does matter with Liberty, I actually do think Jacksonville State's probably going to win this one. And it's a home game for Jacksonville State. They're trying to make this a decent year. They don't want to be bottom. And the only one who's lower than them in this division right now is Sam Houston State. So they're going to be wanting to play hard for this game. And they're going to beat Liberty. And I feel like it's kind of going to shake up a lot of this division. Anyway, Middle Tennessee is going to drop this game to Louisiana Tech. FIU should probably win over UTEP. And I'm going to go ahead and give that to them. And Sam Houston State, again, New Mexico State and New Mexico were both some of the worst teams last season. I think Sam Houston State comes in here, makes a splash, and beats New Mexico State out. So, we're going into week 8 now. Again, if you guys don't know how I do this, at week 3, I'm not going to do any updates. I tend to do updates after week 6 every 3 weeks. But before week 6, I don't do any updates because most people have not started conference play until week 6. Sorry, not started conference play, but most of them have only one game under their belt. So if that game is a win, then they're in. If that game is a loss, then they're not. So I don't really do a week 3 check, and sometimes I'm even hesitant to do a week 6 check. Although I'm not hesitant in the Big Ten or the SEC to do a week 6 check. Anyway, Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State. Western Kentucky is definitely a beatable team for Jacksonville State. I think at home they could easily knock off Western Kentucky. So Jacksonville State is now number 4, which shows just how weak this division actually is, because the number 1 team in it right now is a 5-3 Louisiana Tech team, and we're only week 8. Speaking of Louisiana Tech, they're going to be out this week. Liberty is taking on Middle Tennessee. So it's 2 of the early season giants that have realistically fallen far. And Middle Tennessee is going to continue to fall as Liberty's going to win a home game for them. And really kind of wrap up a lot of Middle Tennessee's hopes at a division championship, because it only gets worse from here. Anyway, Sam Houston versus Florida International. Just like I said, FIU is going to fall off. This is that start. They're going to lose against Sam Houston, and UTEP's going to beat New Mexico State. So we're now going into week 9. Week 9, Louisiana Tech will be out playing against New Mexico State. Louisiana Tech wins that. Liberty against Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky has a chance at that. Sam Houston. And I think Jacksonville State probably wins on the road at FIU. So we're now going to go ahead and check this. Jacksonville State, who started the season pretty low, along with Sam Houston State, who started the season pretty low, are now sitting at 3-2 and 3-1 in the conference respectively, and thus they're number 2 and number 3. With FIU sitting at 3-3 and Liberty sitting at 3-3 in the conference, this really could shake up everything. And realistically, with there still being 3 games left, everyone's still possibly in for the conference championship. Although I really do not think New Mexico State or UTEP are going to win enough games to make that feasible. Liberty probably knocks off Louisiana Tech. South Carolina is going to destroy Jacksonville State. Let's not even bullshit here. New Mexico State probably drops that game to Middle Tennessee, meaning they are out entirely of the division championship race. Sam Houston is still very much alive, as they're going to be out this week, week 10. And then the UTEP Miners, I think, go on the road, and they beat a very bad, struggling Western Kentucky team. I think that's what happens there. Week 11, we now have Sam Houston State. This one really doesn't matter. Western Kentucky's on the downslope. New Mexico State is going to be, again, one of the worst in the league this year. I'll give it to Western Kentucky. I think they bounce back, and I think they do win. I think Western Kentucky is much better than New Mexico State. I do genuinely think that. Anyway, Louisiana Tech versus Sam Houston. This is a big game. because Sam Houston can take a large lead on the number one seed in the conference by winning this theoretically and realistically knock out Louisiana Tech at the same time. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Louisiana Tech is going to beat Sam Houston, putting Sam Houston at 4-4, Louisiana Tech at 7-4. Yeah. Anyway, ODU and Liberty, not even gonna debate that. And I think Middle Tennessee probably loses this game to FIU. And so we're now in week 12, and FIU scheduling bad games. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass. Not about, it wouldn't have kept them out of any like championship opportunities because they're already 7-3. But them losing to Arkansas and them losing to Auburn is not going to help them at all. And FIU could have theoretically challenged for a championship. And actually, they still can if both Jacksonville State and Sam Houston State lose this week. And I'm not going to try and make that happen. But Jacksonville State is also taking on Louisiana Tech, who is going to be one of the better teams this season in this division. And I do have Louisiana Tech winning on the road. They're going to kind of be hitting on all cylinders at the end of the year. And there's got to be something wrong with Sam Houston. Actually, a lot of these, for whatever reason. Huh. Okay. Oh, wait. They're done. Okay. Yeah. That would be why. God damn. I'm trying to get there we go. Boom. All right. Anyway, that means Louisiana Tech is officially done. So, Sam Houston State. I think UTEP later on in the season still won't be able to beat Middle Tennessee. And Western Kentucky at home takes the dub over Sam Houston State. So as we go into week 13, the final week of the football season, Louisiana Tech is sitting at 8-4. Florida International 7-4. Liberty 7-4. Middle Tennessee 6-5. That rounds out the top four. So we now have Western Kentucky at 5-6. Now keep in mind, next week is going to be very key for who makes this division's championship. None of these guys are making the playoffs, might I add. I don't ever predict that anyone from these divisions will make the playoff. But one of these teams is going to make the championship. It's either going to be Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, Liberty, or Florida International. Louisiana Tech has already secured their victory, and they have a bye week going into next week. But this could be good for one of these four other teams that realistically could or these three other teams that could unseat Florida International. All right. Week 13. Jacksonville State wins their game. Really makes this race absolutely ridiculous with 5 teams at 4-3 in conference. That's how crazy these conferences are, by the way. Like, there's no set team that can win these conferences any given year. Anyway, with this one, I think Western Kentucky probably loses to FIU on the road. Sam Houston beats Middle Tennessee. Oh, wait. So, I'm not actually sure. Let me think about this right quick. So, Sam Houston's clearly going to beat Middle Tennessee this week. Middle Tennessee is on a backslide, and Sam Houston is clearly not. But FIU and Western Kentucky, both of them are going to be playing very hard because they're both playing for an opportunity to make the conference championship. I don't know if this division... No, it doesn't play a conference championship. Okay. So FIU probably loses, I would say. And then Liberty beats UTEP. So, at the end of the season, number 1 in this division, pretty clear. Everywhere else, not so clear. Okay. And it even looks like some of these guys don't have 12. Yeah. So these guys have 12 games. These new guys only have 10. And for whatever reason, New Mexico State had 13? That's weird. They had the most games and they played the worst. At least in my prediction. Anyway, this was very clearly not New Mexico. It was the Conference USA standings. Hopefully you all did enjoy. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.